It started like any normal day. Sophie sat quietly in her bedroom, staring at her phone. Her eyes looked tired, and her heart felt heavy. For months, her marriage had been falling apart. There were fights, misunderstandings, and long silences that felt worse than arguments. That day, she finally made a decision. She filed for divorce, not because she truly hated her husband, but because she believed leaving would finally bring her peace. She kept telling herself, maybe I'll finally breathe again. But she didn't realize that some decisions, once made, can't be undone. Sophie and Ryan weren't always like this. In the beginning, they were a happy couple. They laughed a lot, planned the future, and shared dreams like every other couple. But slowly things changed. Ryan became busy. Sophie started feeling ignored. Small problems became big arguments, and big arguments became emotional distance. Sophie tried to talk, but every conversation ended in frustration. And then one day, her close friend Chloe said something that hit her mind like poison wrapped in advice. Chloe said, "Why are you still with him? You deserve better. Just leave." Sophie didn't even ask for advice. But when someone is already broken inside, even wrong words can feel comforting. So Sophie listened. When Sophie finally told Ryan about the divorce, Ryan didn't shout. He didn't insult her. He didn't even fight back. He just stared at her, like he couldn't believe what he was hearing. Then he asked quietly, "Are you sure you want to end this?" Sophie tried to stay strong. "Yes." Ryan's voice cracked. "I never thought you'd give up on us." But Sophie had already convinced herself this was the only way. The divorce happened, and within weeks, she walked out of the house, thinking she had walked into a new life. At first, it felt like freedom. No arguments, no stress, no tension. But freedom without peace starts feeling like loneliness. Days turned into weeks, and slowly, Sophie began to understand something she didn't expect. She didn't miss the fights. She missed the feeling of being a family. She missed having someone there. She missed the comfort of home. But it was too late. One day, Sophie heard something that stopped her breath. Ryan had moved on. He wasn't stuck in sadness like she thought he would be. He wasn't begging for her return. Instead, Ryan had healed. And then Sophie heard the next part. Ryan had remarried. And he was happy. That news didn't just hurt her feelings. It crushed her from the inside, because suddenly she realized Ryan wasn't the problem. The problem was she made a permanent decision in temporary emotions. One evening, Sophie was sitting in her car outside a cafe. And then she saw him, Ryan. He was walking out, smiling, calm, relaxed. And beside him was a woman, and in his arms, a small child. Sophie couldn't move. Her hands started shaking. Her heart started racing. That moment felt like punishment, not because Ryan did something wrong, but because Sophie finally understood what she lost. Tears filled her eyes and she whispered, "I made the wrong decision." She wanted to go back. She wanted to fix everything. But life doesn't always give you another chance. And this is the truth. Sometimes it's not the relationship that ends. It's patience. Sometimes it's not love that dies. It's communication.